Hey, welcome to Instant Reaction. It's the Blue Jay Banner post-game show, the original Creighton post-game show, right here live on our YouTube channel. Thanks for finding us. Please hit that subscribe button. It helps us out a lot. And also hit the like button to share what we're doing here for Blue Jay Nation. What a game, 84-67. Jays win. It was a beatdown. We first want to thank our great sponsors who help us do this. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. West Pacific Dental Group, and Infusion Brewery. And yes, time to crack out another Let It Fly or another victory. I don't know. I didn't get a chance because it was such a huge, uh, I don't know what you want to call it, crowd, I guess. But I didn't get a chance to go down and check out one of the pink cans today that they had.
I'm wondering if they're going to have them at their locations.
Well, I would think they would, and I would think they probably didn't sell out of all of them today. I hope they did for their sake. But Infusion printed up a special pink out edition of this very can right here. Once again, the screen has frozen, which is nice.
All right, now you're good.
All right, there we go. Put that baby up there.
The pink ones did look really cool.
Yeah, they did.
I saw they had a big post on Instagram for them.
But check out all the Infusion Brewing products. You can go down to their store over in Papillion, or you can go down to 36th Street and over to the Crescent Moon, where they have a full selection of all their products. There's another one right there.
I have one. I will not be drinking it. I have a mild concussion, so.
Okay, what did you do? Did you get so excited at the game you got a concussion?
No, I slipped in the shower.
Oh. No, I watched a Dateline about that last night.
Yeah, I've been telling people, people have been asking me what happened, and they're like, that's how 70% of deaths happen at home. And I'm like, thanks for telling me that after the fact. But I survived. It's nothing major. Just a little bit of a headache.
Good thing.
Yep.
All right. So Jays win 84-67. Just a beat down today. And we'll get Jerry aboard here and get started. Yeah, just an all-around great performance. I mean, there's really very little to nitpick. And Jerry's joining us now. Hey, Jerry.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Hey, Jerry, I want you to share with everybody the comment you made to me during the game when I said, hey, I'll let you share that on the show.
I bet that's the first time Xavier has played meaningful minutes without either Fremantle or Nunji on the floor. Is that the comment you're talking about?
Yeah, and extended minutes.
Yep.
Extended minutes. I actually ran into Xavier Fan after the game, and I asked him. He said, yeah, usually we have both, if not one on the floor. That's the first time he can remember them playing extended minutes without at least one of them on the floor. So, and they just didn't look in sync, and a lot of frustration with Miller. He tried to put him back in the first half, and, they weren't really playing. It's hard to play with two fouls. They go out and tell you, we'll let you out, but don't foul anybody. Don't get your third foul. And, Nunji's trying to guard Kalk down low with no help. And you could just, it was just, Kalk just had his way with him down low. And then, Miller took him out, and it just didn't look like either of them was comfortable playing with two fouls in the first half. So,
yeah. And they actually in the second half, they kind of made the run with that smaller lineup.
Right. Yeah. Even though Fremantle, I think he had 16, 18 points.
It seemed like every shot that he took went in.
Yeah,
he just didn't have a lot of them.
We made some mistakes. We left him open on the 3-point line one time. But I think the key stat in the game was holding Baum to just 2 points. I mean, he's their leading scorer, 17 a game. I didn't realize he only took 5 shots. And I know 3 of them, and I told you, Tim, at the game, he took 2 forced threes right there in the end of the first half where he was floating to the side, had a guy on him, or just looked like he was just forcing a shot. And that shot he took there in the second half where he just kind of drove into Kalkbrenner and threw a shot up. I don't know if he's just trying to pray for a foul, and cock blocked it, and we went down and scored a fast break layup. So he really had a frustrating game. And you can take their best scorer and hold them to 2 points. That's, Nimhard and Trey played some great defense there. So,
yeah, and an interesting Coach Matt comment was their initial plan was to put Trey on him, and then Trey got an early foul, so he flip-flopped, put Ryan on him, and Ryan just did a phenomenal job today and really shut him down.
When you can hold their, like I said, you can hold their best score to 2 points. I didn't realize he only took 2 shots or 5 shots, and 3 of those I remember were just terrible shots, low percentage shots. So great job of defense, on him. But yeah, getting Fremantle and Nungy with 2 quick fouls in that first half, they really struggled, and playing with 2 fouls. And you see Miller was frustrated, but to their point, I mean, they probably not played any meaningful minutes with either of those guys on the court. So probably never even practiced, scrimmage without either one of those guys on the floor. So definitely different, for them. So,
but huge for the Jays that they pull within 1 game in the loss column now, first place. So huge. Marquette was struggling with DePaul, now inched out to an 9-point lead against the Blue Demons here, with about 14 minutes to go in the first half, or second half, I should say. But yeah, just a tremendous performance all the way around. I think probably since Maui, Creighton's most complete game.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Matt called it their best game of the year. So,
yeah, I think so. I think so. What a job by our two, both on the defense end, but then offensively.
Yeah, he almost had a triple-double. He had 11 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists.
Yeah, almost triple.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think the second time in 3 games that he's had a point, rebound, a double-double.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean, just a great performance. And then, you got to tip your hat to Art, too, He got yanked early and got an earful from Coach Mack.
Mm-hmm.
And
Arthur.
Came back.
And Arthur, yep.
Arthur. Yeah.
Did I not say? I thought I said
Arthur. Said R2.
R2,
yeah.
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, R2. Yep. Art missed those couple layups, got pulled. He went back in, just straight line drives to the basket, and had, I think, outside of that one game in Vegas, his best game of the season, easily.
Yeah, especially considering the opponent,
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. So, hey, you want to join in? Please do. bjbinstantreaction@gmail.com. Send us an email. Zach will send you a link, and you can join the show and give us your comments. In a little bit here, we're going to have Jalen Courtney Williams, Creighton assistant coach, joining us.
I think another stat, too, Tim, I was impressed with is in the second half, we didn't have a foul at the 4-minute timeout. Not one. So we played great defense without fouling. And we talked a little bit in the first half what a great free throw shooting team Xavier is. I think they got to be in the top 15 in the country. Not putting them at the line. I know that's Mac's big thing. Don't put guys at the line for 50 points. Did a great job of playing defense without fouling as well. So,
yeah, hold on one second. I thought, I saw some stuff on Twitter about, these refs are horrible. How can you have that big a foul discrepancy and so on and so forth? I've said this for years. Just because there's a foul discrepancy doesn't mean that the refs are doing a bad job. One team might just be fouling and the other team not fouling. And when you're one of the top teams in the country, for fouls like Creighton is, that happens a lot. I mean, this isn't totally unusual in games. I think the St. John's game was the same way, if I don't remember, in one half, like about a 6-1 difference.
Mm-hmm. No, Xavier didn't have that many fouls on them either. The second half, I think they had 4 or 5 at the 4-minute mark, so it wasn't like it was like 9-0 or something like that. It was, but Creighton doesn't reach in. They don't grab. They stand there and play solid defense. They don't try to swat shots in the 5th row.
Right.
They do a good job of – Ryan Kalkbrenner does a really, really good job of keeping the ball in play when he blocks shots.
Oh, he's great about that.
Yep.
I think that one he blocked it, then he like tipped it out to.
Yeah, in the second. Late in the second half. Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great way to get fast point breaks too, because you're on the move, you're going. The other team didn't have time to set a defense up, and when you swat one in the third row, it looks cool, and the fans do and all. But the other team gets the ball to bounds.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, that was the Gregory Echenike special.
Oh yeah.
Just volleyball it as far as you can out of bounds.
Right. Of course, he was going up against some 6'3" power forward.
Yeah. Yeah, he was going up against Casey Harrimans.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're back talking about the fouls. So, I forget. Was it? Yeah, it was Hunter that went inside and Kalk blocked him. Clean block from my angle. I didn't see a foul, and then the foul discrepancy was so great. And at that point, the game was almost out of hand. And Coach Miller just said, "You know what? I'm going to step out about 10 feet onto the floor here and yell at the ref and get a technical."
He was
that's
big
what he
for
did.
that. Yeah.
I think that's the exact play that Jerry was talking about. I think it was that block, where he got the block and then he tipped it back out.
The one that Miller got the technical on was just a clean block. It went right to, I think R2 got it.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So
there were a lot of them. I'm having trouble keeping track.
Well, you got a concussion.
That too.
But that was, he just went out and got a technical just for the sake of getting a technical. The game was over. He just wanted to make his point.
Well, he kept going too after the free throws.
He almost got two.
Yeah, he kept going after the free throws. I thought he was going to get
there
tossed.
again, much like Mac, you got to know who you're talking to, and he knew he was talking to Pat Driscoll, who doesn't tee up people very quickly.
Yeah,
and is willing to sit and listen. So he knew who he was talking to. So good job on his part. But Jays win 84-67. As we said, Nemhart nearly a triple-double.
Yeah.
Unbelievable performance by Ryan. He had 11 points, 10 rebounds, 8 assists. We didn't do the Mike Anderson thing, leave him until the end to get those other 2 assists. But Art had 20 and 9.
Yep.
Kalk had 17 and 8. Trey Alexander with 13 points tonight. Solid performance. Him and then, of course, Baylor had 14 and 4, 2-6 from deep. As a team, 8 of 21 deep. So it wasn't like we shot, and that's what's so promising about it is it's not like we shot the ball lights out from 3 to win this game like this. We took the ball inside, and when they got challenged, we did a nice job of when they got challenged with fouls. We did a nice job when they went to that small lineup. It kind of hurt us a couple times, and then boom, we got the message, got the ball inside to Kalk, and away we went. The other thing I want to say. Wow, Baylor, I don't know if Boom just didn't want to foul or whatever, but Baylor really backed him down a couple times.
Yeah.
Took advantage of him.
Yep. Another thing was interesting, too. We talked about that. The 4-minute mark, Miller pulled his starters out, Fremantle, Nunji, and just like he put the white flag up. But a lot of times you don't see coaches do that until maybe 2. He just kind of like threw the white flag up early. So
I said to you, Jerry, during the game, I thought Nunji, there was times that late after the 10 minutes, it's almost like he threw in the towel himself. Like that one to Kalkner, I mean, he didn't even make an effort to try and foul or I mean, he's got 3 fouls. I get it, but still, come on. You got 9 minutes to go in the game. You got to at least, do something at that point.
He was very animated after that second foul call, which I don't know if that was – I didn't see it. I mean, he was, he's not usually an animated guy. He was, talking to the ref and throwing his arms like, that was a horrible call. And, I mean, but you've got to be able to shake that off. But, yeah, he didn't have a very good game. And like I said, he looked like he just threw the white flag up,
Speaking of
fouls. I thought both calls, first 2 calls on him were pretty ticky-tacky, whatever.
Mm-hmm. Creighton was only called for 6 fouls over the entire game.
Yeah, well, they don't foul them. They don't.
But even then, that's low for them. Yeah. That's extraordinarily low.
How many Xavier had? They didn't have a ton.
Yeah, they only had 13.
Yeah.
So not a lot of fouls called.
No.
I'd like to read some quotes from Sean Miller. And even though he's intense and some people get on him, I think deep down he's he's pretty gracious, when he plays another team. He goes, I really feel like we were playing against a really good team. Playing Creighton at Creighton is not an easy task for anybody. I think they're one of the best teams in college basketball. We didn't just not play well today. We lost to a team that was better than us, and there's a big difference.
You're saying he's not Eric Musselman, blaming it on the refs when you lose.
That's what I'm saying, Jerry. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I have my gripes with how the Arizona situation was handled, but since he's come into the Big East, he has earned a lot of respect from me, who doesn't really matter all that much. But
all right, it's time for Coach's Corner. Jalen Courtney Williams is joining us. He's now showing us the ceiling somewhere, probably at the CHI Health Center.
The CHI ceiling.
Very nice.
Have a gander.
Hey, I noticed something that you've really become a 1A cheerleader on the bench, getting that crowd going.
Yeah, I try to do my part. I try to do what I can.
You planning on joining the Blue Crew anytime soon?
I'm available on what's our schedule? Let's check it out. I'm available on certain days. Tell them to call.
Well, you probably don't want to do it the next game because there's going to be about 4 people at the next game you're playing at in Georgetown. So there's not a lot of people to get excited there.
Don't do them like that. Don't do them
well,
like that.
I'm just stating a fact, and I'm not stating anything any Georgetown fan wouldn't tell you. Okay.
Oh man. No, I tell you what. In prep for that game, that team is in every game, right?
Yep.
We are. Oh no, right. I'm not talking about the team. I'm just talking about the fact that you can't draw fans. That team has been right there, there.
And you never know. We're coming into town, and people may want to come out and see it. So
I want to come and see you.
They might want to come see Nembhard guard the way he did today. How about that?
Yeah.
Yeah. How about
you guys have a good day. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
And throwing up a triple-double, almost a triple-double.
No, I was coaching it or pretending to. Thank you. Oh, you guys didn't tell me it was like this outside. Oh, man.
Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
Coach, it's bad outside. Man. It's cold out.
What is this? But no, it was unbelievable effort by our whole group today. Nembhard, I thought, did a heck of a job on Sule Boom, and then played one of his most complete.
Lost him.
We lost him in a snowstorm out there.
How about that? Am I back?
You're back.
What about video? Do you see me?
No, we can't see you, but we're okay. We know what you look like. There you are. Okay. We got you. Okay,
perfect.
We're good.
But no, he played one of his most complete games, I thought, of his Blue Jay career. So,
yeah, he was terrific today. When him and Kalk get that thing going, they're awfully tough to stop because when teams just for a second play back to try and stop that lob, R2's right by him.
No question. And then, I think Arthur's doing a heck of a job. He's slowing down and starting to really read some things at a high level offensively.
Yeah,
that helps.
That was my next comment. Is he had those couple where he drove early on, didn't make them, came out of the game, came back in, and then it was just line drive straight to the basket, and he was kind of getting whatever he wanted there for a while, and he really he took that little time. Coach Mack talked to him a little bit, and I think that spoke a lot to his coachability. Coming
Absolutely.
out and going back in and kind of picking it back up, and because that is something that we've seen in flashes, but when he puts it together for a whole game, it's so special to watch.
Yeah, no question. And I know I sound like a broken record at this point, talking about Art the last minute.
Oh, we lost you.
Who he can be on both sides of the ball. How about now?
Now I can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, he's Art is starting to really embrace who he can be on both sides of the ball. Defensively, he's he's guarding different matchups. You know, he's doing a heck of a job on the perimeter. Obviously tonight, having to guard a bigger Nunji is a tough job within itself. But then offensively, his ability to get in the paint, kind of make reads for himself and others right now. I mean, he's starting to do that stuff at a high level. And, you know, he's so big and strong down there and athletic when he plays on 2 feet, man. He's hard to stop.
Yeah, and he's got those Inspector Gadget arms, too, where he can just reach out from across the court and poke a ball away.
No question. No question. So, yeah, and then, you know, you couple that with Trey's play and Baylor's play and then our contributions off the bench. You know, we played a complete game tonight, I thought.
Yeah.
I'm interested in the pregame, you know, in your game plan. Last game, we kind of put Kalk on Fremantle. Was that kind of the play today? I mean, obviously, both those guys got 2 fouls early and went out of the game, but was that kind of the game plan for you today?
Yeah, well, if you, you know, the more you watch film on those guys, you kind of just notice that Fremantle, while they're both very talented and capable in their own right, Fremantle just does a little bit more traditionally around the rim. He's a little bit more physical in nature. Fremantle actually is way more comfortable on the perimeter, shooting those 3-point shots. Obviously, when we play them, they typically go right at Art. But, you know, when you talk about their strengths, and obviously, again, they're good players, so they find a way. But you know, I like the way we kind of manipulate that matchup, and we just kind of take our chances there.
Yeah, well, today it worked out fine. Get those 2 early fouls on them, and then they kind of went with Fremantle a little bit, and then the second half they kind of went small, and they kind of made a run for a little bit, and then obviously we took huge advantage of that going down low.
Yeah. That small lineup for them is a really dangerous lineup, and they've actually, since our game at Xavier, they've gone to that lineup more and more. They played more minutes with that particular lineup in. It's a tough one to guard because they still run their continuity with pace, and their guys are so interchangeable. So it's tough to defend.
Right. I know you can't talk about it, but you know, we had a lot of people in the arena today. Had some visitors. Everything go good?
Yeah.
Right.
You know what? I think our environment, like the game today, I think it made a heck of an impression on that family, and you know, we're just gonna keep fighting the good fight. But
absolutely,
it's a heck of a place to play. This is a heck of a community to be a part of, and a heck of a team to be a part of. So, you know, anybody that wouldn't want to be a part of that, then hey, go figure.
Yeah. What about the crowd today? What a great atmosphere, huh?
Unbelievable, and a special day. Obviously, you know, people don't know this, but I lost my dad to cancer when I was 4 years old.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and he was 26 years old. He died of a very rare stomach cancer. So, you know, days like today are very near to me, just like so many others in that building today.
Yeah. Oh wow. Well, yeah, it was awesome. It's always an awesome moment.
Yeah, it's a thing. It's a thing that's really touched everybody, you know, in some way or another. So it's nice when there's those kind of community events where everyone can get together and, you know, think about the people who have been through that or the people that they've lost through that and raise funds towards, you know.
Yeah. And to be able to come together over a game of basketball and celebrate our loved ones, and also, you know, encourage our loved ones over a game of hoops, man. There's no better way to do it.
Yeah.
There's no better way to do it.
Yeah, I have something to say on a personal note. So I'm sitting next to a guy tonight. He said Farabella's not very good on defense. What do you say to somebody like that?
I would highly disagree. Farabello is actually one of the better team defenders I've coached just in terms of understanding schemes, understanding everybody's tendencies. He does a heck of a job in that, right? He gets the short end of a stick a lot of the times in matchups where, he might be guarding a bigger guy that just kind of shoots over the top of him, but if he's always in the right spot. But, man, he makes timely defensive plays. I think he got a back tap today in the post. Things like that, just kind of understanding where to be, when to be there in a way that nobody else does. I mean, he's a coach's kid, a high-level coach's kid, right? And so that stuff shows up when you need it most. So I would disagree with that, obviously, but
you answered that way more
eloquently.
You answered that way more eloquently than I did. I just turned him and said, "You're an idiot."
Not every good defender is going to be a Patrick Beverly ball hawk. There are guys who are going to jump gaps and get those steals. Just be in the right spot, cut a guy off, take a charge. There's more to defense than just really just hounding a guy on the ball.
Exactly. Especially in the team scheme of things.
Absolutely.
Different strengths. I think Arthur Kaluma is showing himself to be a really good defender on the ball and off of the ball with his length and athleticism. And Farabello is a guy that kind of does it with his brain a little bit more than he does with his body.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I thought that was a great spurt of effort from both Fran and Mason when they came in the game today.
Yeah, no question. Mason is taking steps. Our last few games, he's taken a lot of steps forward and done a lot of positive things. Freddie just keeps coming along, man. He just keeps coming along, and he has the luxury to play with a guy like Kalkbrenner, so he gets to learn from him every day, and kind of bring his own spin to what we teach every day. Man, is he active around that rim?
Yeah.
Yeah, and he still comes off as a kid who doesn't know how strong he is yet. Like I feel like once he puts that together.
Trust me, I'm on the receiving end of some of those blows, and he has no idea. I'm like, hey man, watch out.
Yeah.
Hey, last thing, I got this Marquette game. I'm waiting for Marquette to come back down to earth, and they just don't. I mean, man, that team's playing at a pretty high level right now.
Yeah, man, they do what they do, and they do it well. Kudos to Shaka, Coach Smart, and what they've done. But they're as connected as a group as there is in our league. Obviously, they're going to defend you, and they play with pace, and their guys are skilled. It's a tough night when you're playing against Marquette.
Coach, congratulations. Enjoy the weekend. Enjoy the trip out to D.C. and go get them.
Thanks a lot.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
Jalen Courtney Williams, assistant head coach at Creighton, join us on Coach's Corner. We got to see some sky. We got to see some fixtures in the tunnel of the CHI Health Center. We got to see his car. We got to see all kinds of things. He was going back to the office, what he was doing. Yes,
I saw that. I saw that he was pulling up to the championship center.
Yeah. So
Ride never stops.
Marquette's just blowing this thing wide open. It's 76-59 now. Wow. And they look, I don't know the stats, but they just can't miss. I mean, it's just, wow. I don't know. I'm waiting for Jerry. What do you think? I'm waiting for Marquette to kind of come back down to earth. But
yeah, they're playing well. I mean, the thing about DePaul, it's only an hour and a half drive from Milwaukee, so it looks like I see quite a few Marquette fans in the stands. So it's probably more of a neutral site game almost, if not. But yeah, and Marquette's been playing tough. I mean, picked to finish toward the bottom. They've done well.
Yeah, I'd kind of like to just for a quick second here before we move on to the rest of the show, kind of take just a quick glance at these top teams now, and being we're inching up to the top in the standings. What they have left, obviously, they're playing DePaul today. Then they play. Gosh, they seem just like they have such an easy schedule. They play then Villanova and Butler at home, which should be 2 wins. Then they go on the road at UConn. Now that's all right. That's a Tuesday night game, the 7th. So there we go. There's an opportunity for a loss for them. But then they go at Georgetown, and then they have Xavier at home, and then at Creighton. So that's their big stretch right there. They play 3 out of 4 of the top teams in the league. We'll see, and 2 of them on the road. So that could be their opportunity to fall back a little bit. I really thought today they might, they might take a step back, but boy, they're just blowing the doors off the ball now.
Up 20.
Yeah.
On the road.
Crazy how that turned around. And then Xavier, now we're obviously done with Xavier, so we're all done. But
I actually have a question about the tiebreakers. So when it comes down to it, does point differential matter?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll talk about that in a second. So then Xavier, they've got Providence at home coming up on Wednesday, then St. John's on the weekend, and then they go at Butler, at Marquette. Then they got DePaul at home, who they lost to already, Villanova, and then their schedule really gets weak at the end. They got Butler, Seton Hall, Villanova, DePaul for their last 5. They do have to go to Providence. They have not played Providence at all yet. So they've got to go to they got Providence Wednesday, and then they got at Providence later on in the season. So I don't know. I don't know. Out of that, I can't really say who has the tougher schedule left. I think we kind of, if you look at our schedule and you match it up there, I mean, we have a lot of the bottom teams we got to go on the road to. But now our next 3 are extremely winnable at Georgetown, Villanova, and then at Seton Hall. Then we have UConn at home, and then at Providence, at St. John's, Marquette at home, and then at Villanova, Georgetown, and at DePaul. So we really have, to me, maybe 4 games that look scary. UConn, Marquette, DePaul, maybe 5. UConn, Marquette, DePaul on the road.
At Providence.
Then UConn, too. Yeah. So
I think that Marquette Creighton game looks pretty big. I mean, hopefully we don't stub our toe on a game we should win, but that could be a really big game.
Right, because now, like I said, we got 3 winnables. We're 13-8. We could all of a sudden, from a team that was 11 and what were we? 11 and or 10 and 8,
9 and 8,
9 and 8. We're good. We could be 16 and 8.
One game at a time, Tim.
Yep.
I'm just saying. You can say one game at a time all you want, but there's no reason we shouldn't win these next 3. At Georgetown, Villanova, at Seton Hall. We should win those 3.
No, I agree.
He didn't, JC, he didn't want any talk about Georgetown not being good, did he?
No.
I think that's probably going to be the focus of the coaches. Don't look at their record. And, he's right to a point. You watch Georgetown play, they'll have 10, 12 minutes where they look pretty good, and then they'll go through a stretch of 5, 6 minutes. It's just awful basketball, and that's why they lose games. Just
and always dangerous. Basketball. They got a couple athletic guards, and then they have Wahab who can, affect things. Now, the good thing for us versus, say, a team like, I don't know, Marquette or Xavier's, we got a true big-time post in the middle.
Yeah.
That can handle Wahab. So that takes a little bit of pressure off the rest of our team. Like today, Jerry, you pointed out when Sean Miller had that quick timeout, he was just like, okay, look, we're going to play small. We got to double. Call Brenner. And then that never really came about. So
right.
Unsung hero today.
I got Mason Miller.
Mason Miller. I like Fred King.
Fred King as well, yeah.
I thought once again he came in, gave us great minutes, had that huge block.
Right.
I mean, that was a big-time block.
That was.
And he doesn't, like a lot of freshman centers get rattled. He takes his time down there, and he doesn't get, crazy rattled down below. And I'm pretty impressed with that. But, we'll give it to Fred King.
We got Tyler O'Connor in the chat. Jays are now 10 in KenPom. Moved in the top 10 in KenPom.
That's good. It's good because every game is played on KenPom, as we all know.
Yeah.
Worst call of the night. Well, I think that second call in Nunjies was pretty bad. We already mentioned that.
I like the no call on Matt Freeman on the first half, where I thought Kalk was going up for that lob dunk, and Fremantle grabbed his arm and they didn't. It was, and we talked about, I think it's in the back of the rest of mine. God, I've already got both their big guys in foul. Do I really want to blow the whistle and give Fremantle his third foul in the first half? Didn't have to listen to Sean Miller in my ear the whole first half.
Yeah, I think he definitely fouled him.
I don't think there's any question. Right.
It's a lot harder for me to pay attention to stuff like that when I'm actually at the game. It's easier for me.
Really?
Yeah, like in real time without me, seeing the replay of things and having Donnie Marshall explain it.
Well,
really?
It's always interesting to me how much a ref keeps that in their head. Nunji has 2 fouls. Fremantle has 2 fouls. Miller sends them back out. Are the refs in their head, do I really want to blow a third foul on one of those 2 guys unless it's blatantly obvious, and does that play an effect on a play like that where Fremantle grabbed the guy's arm? The refs are scared to blow the third foul on a guy.
I don't think there's any question that they have it in their mind. I don't think there's any question.
But, yeah, I just thought – and then I had a guy text me who was actually watching the game on TV, said it was a bad no call. He actually grabbed his arm. So
it did kind of look like his arm. Yeah. There was something that happened to his arm. Yeah, no doubt.
That was my worst call, the no call on Cock, because the ref didn't have the guts or something else to call that third foul on Fremantle in the first half. So
yeah, I'll go with that one. By the way, just other college basketball notes today. It's funny because we were sitting there before the game, Jerry, with a group of people, and I said this. I said, Oklahoma's terrible. They're going to get killed. They are crushing Alabama.
Wow. Is that game in Norman?
Yes.
I would assume. Wow.
They're just smoking them. Who saw that coming?
College basketball, man. It's just never know. It's just
that's crazy.
Kids, especially this time of year. It's out of conference. It's a Big 12 SEC challenge. Yeah. Maybe they probably came in not focused, I guess.
Let's put this in the college basketball. Who thunk it? Missouri thumping Iowa State.
Yeah, Missouri's dangerous at home. They're athletic and they can shoot. They shoot. They spread her. They kind of play crazy ball, and if they're hot, they can.
Good day to be Joel Lorenzi.
Yeah.
Or Jerry Lamp.
Right.
Oh yeah. Every time I always forget that Jerry's a Mizzou guy.
Right. It's a big game. It's a big game for Missouri. Well? What's that?
Houston losing as well.
Yes, Houston.
Wow. Cincinnati.
Now Cincinnati's not great.
No.
And that game's at Houston as well.
It is. I noticed that watching warm up.
That's just typically what that is a team that's just kind of sleepwalking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Cincinnati is one of those teams in that conference, though, that can kind of somewhat match Houston's physicality and athleticism. There's a lot of teams in that conference that Houston plays. They just overmatch them athletically, I think. So
we got a great under-over game going right now in this Marquette DePaul game, though. 86-67. So that's 153. The under-over is 154.5. There's just a minute 20 left. So, you got it. Marquette's going to dribble the ball out at the end of the game, and they're putting in their bench warmers. So, boy, you got to hope somebody slops one in here if you got the over.
I don't know. Be honest. I expected the over in the Creighton game today.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I did too. I mean, those teams score a lot of points.
Mm-hmm.
But when it gets to 158, that's
high.
4 points a minute. You got to really be cranking. And both teams went through lulls today. That kind of brought that down. Otherwise, they would have hit it. But because there were spurts where they scored a lot of points, but both teams went through kind of a lull. So, we're going to go with the worst call on Kalkbrenner.
And then got a question about your bracket, Tim, in the chat. Thomas wants to know how many more wins does Creighton need to be a lock?
Well, it's hard to say because you got to know about teams around them and how they do. This win today will move them off the play-in game. Will they get to be at 10-9? I was telling Jerry about it. The difference, how we always hear, the bubble's so weak, the bubble's so weak. The bubble, I'm not saying there's strong teams in the bubble, but this year the difference is there are probably 10 to 15 teams, and now you can take Creighton out of that equation. There's probably 10 to 15 teams that have basically the same resumes.
Yeah.
And what they're all missing is one win against a top 10 opponent. And when they get that, they jump by all these other teams. So the thing is so fluid. Case in point was USC. They were way down. They were like 7th team out. They beat UCLA. All of a sudden, now they're in the field, So 13-8, if we get to 19-9, then whatever happens after that happens. I think you're in pretty good shape, especially with our strength of schedule.
My guess was 19-20 wins as well. Yeah. And they're, you're probably 19 wins. You're probably still looking at an 11 seed.
Oh God, no.
You don't think so?
No. If they're 19-13, they'll be out. They won't be in the playing game. There's too many teams right now that are hanging around that 12-8, 13-9 area that still have a lot of games left. So I doubt that. I don't think that'll be it. I think we'd be out of the playing game. Now we're not going to be a great seed, but we'd be out of the playing game.
Lenardi had us as an 8 going into it. I saw that.
Yeah, Joe's nuts. I don't know. He's lost it. Hey, Easton's joining us. Hey, Easton, welcome to the show.
How you doing today, Tim?
Doing great, Easton. How can you not be great today?
Yeah, very, very exciting. I thought today was the best game we played. I would argue since last year against Providence in the Big East tournament. I did not expect Sule Boom to only have, what was it, 2 points or 5?
He had 5 points. He made 1 shot.
Points. Yeah, if you told me that for the game, I would have not believed you. I really think after seeing that today was like I really think we're either the best or second best team in the Big East. I don't really buy Xavier because their defense is not that good to take them seriously as like a Final Four contender. But I just today was just like we needed that marquee win, and we finally got it. And now I think we'll really go on a roll here because our schedule lightens up, and this Big East title race is going to be very exciting this last month and a half of the season.
No doubt about it.
The best win that they could get now, obviously, in conference play is at Providence, and I think that might be their best win of the season if they can pull that off.
Well, we still have, like, Marquette will be a Q1 win.
Yeah.
Providence will be a Q1 win. UConn will be a Q1 win. So we still have 3 potential Q1 wins. So we're in good shape there.
Yeah. Actually, I forgot about UConn.
I said this back in late December. I said we could still have 4 Q1 wins. I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility. So, we're in really great shape right now as far as making the NCAA tournament. We're in great shape.
Yeah, I like how the Big East schedules Georgetown right after this game. talk about. I don't think it's a trap game, but just talk about 2 different like levels of teams you can play.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, but then like Coach said, Georgetown's playing people close. They're not pulling them out at the end, but they're playing teams close. They finally broke that losing streak, beat DePaul. So it's
sometimes the hardest thing about going there is going to be pumping yourself up.
It's like a strange environment. Yeah,
50 people in the stands that probably had nothing else better to do than show up for a college basketball game. And you've got to motivate yourself to provide your own energy within the team to go out and take care of business. And it's like playing in practice almost. I mean, it's going to be a terrible environment. Nobody's going to be there. And you've got to pump yourself up and give you energy. And hopefully you can have a lead before halftime. So you don't go into halftime in a close game and give them hope. You want to hopefully have a double-digit lead going into halftime where they think, here we go, it's another loss. If you
Yep.
kind of let them hang around, they think they got a chance to win, and that's what you don't want. So
Yep. Get a big lead. Get your starters off the floor. No injuries. Hopefully.
Yep.
That's the best way to. I think that's the best possible outcome.
Yep.
Yeah, and Xavier's only at 23, so that could slip out of a high Q1 win. It could go to it'd still be a Q1 win, but it could be a low Q1 win. But we still have, like I said, still some opportunities there too. And right now we're at our total combined Q1 and 2 sits at 6 and 7 now. So
Marquette at home.
Plus we got a top.
It's going to be a great game.
25 win. So we have 1 top 25. We have 3 in the top 50, and we have 1, 2 more. So we have 5 total in the top 75. So that's not like world beater, but it's not bad.
Got to give UConn credit. I mean, they went out and they played. I mean, they were undefeated non-conference. They really helped. Thank God they're struggling right now, but boy, did they build up a
nice resume. Yeah, they did.
Exactly.
They really did. They were able to survive that losing streak. So
one thing that Easton Comedy called it the best win we've had all year, and the best maybe. We only shot 38% from the 3-point line, so it's not like we went out there and just shot the lights out from 3. And to call that one our best game and not have a great 3. I mean, that says maybe a lot about this team. So we don't rely on a 3 to just go out and make 3s to have a chance to win. So
yeah, I don't know. I still think Arkansas was our best win at the time. Arkansas was a top 10 team, and they played like it that day. And
they're missing guys right now, though, aren't they?
Right.
But I'm just saying,
Trayvon Brazil's out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Brazil was a huge factor in that game against Creighton.
Yep.
I'm just saying at that time, at that particular moment.
Yeah.
I just said, and obviously we didn't get Xavier's best shot today either. So that was the other thing.
Back-to-back road games is just a tall task. I do think they're kind of emotionally let down because that UConn game took a lot out of them.
Yeah.
I also think, but those foul calls early on them really changed the game because, I mean, they got up to a good start, but once Fremantle and Nunji got those 2, it really kind of set the tone for the rest of the game. Then they got in a deficit and they couldn't really get back. I mean, I'm impressed with the response by Creighton when they got down to 6 and they went on that 20-something to 6 run, kind of opposite of last year in the second when they played each other. Going that big second half run to put the game away. So that was really very impressive to see.
Right. All right, Easton. Thanks for calling again. Appreciate it. Talk to you Wednesday. No, all right, Zach, let's get up some game highlights here.
Game highlights. All right. You got screen share on?
I do. Ready to go? Well, you act like I never do that.
Just double checking. Covering the bases.
Charles Barkley was at the Auburn-West Virginia game in West Virginia, and Auburn lost. Auburn made a big comeback, though. They actually covered that after being down huge. They actually covered the point spread. They only lost by 3. What do we got going on the Cincinnati game?
What channel is it on?
6260. It's on CBS.
Ooh, 6260 now? I got him up.
Yeah. No, I said we have the highlights.
Gotcha.
And I was like, wow, when the start, this wasn't the greatest start. We kind of gave up a couple buckets and we turned it over. I was like, we're down 4-0 right off the get-go, but then had a big 3 here to get things going. Good to see Trey get that first one down.
He's looking a lot more comfortable catching and shooting the past few games.
Yeah, then we went down 8-3 too. It's like then we hit another 3 here. I think this was
R2. Yep.
Great passer by Mason. One of the few shots Fremantle missed today.
Yeah.
Nemhard was great on those today.
And Creighton won the rebounding battle 30-22, I think.
No, it was 33-26.
33-26. Might have looked before it was over.
Got Nunge on his back there. One thing I noticed too at halftime, Baylor only had 2 points at half. I know he ended up with 14, but for us to be at 14 points and Baylor to only have 2 points, I thought that was a
he had a relatively quiet game.
Yeah. Well, he had a couple
by his standards
out there that got the cloud fired up, you know.
Sometimes his backdowns aren't very effective, but today they were. Just Fred, great job there. Great pass, actually, by Kaluma. Got Fred in the right position.
So nice to see Farabello hit that three as well. See, there's just that step.
Mm-hmm.
And Sean Miller said he really foreshadowed some of the challenges that he would face at Arizona. Miller told us he still has that note from Billy.
I think Baylor actually only had 4 rebounds.
He didn't have his normal rebounding game.
Here's a second chance when Farabello hit the three on the offensive board by Arthur. Right.
He's a really easy kid to root for.
I don't know. According to my buddy Matt, he's a terrible defender.
Yeah.
I eventually had to say, you're going to be on an island of your own on that one, so hope you enjoy yourself.
I can think of one other guy.
I think this was later in the first half where he got so frustrated with Kaluma getting 3 offensive rebounds, he had to put Nunge back in the game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, right there. Great hustle by Arthur, though, not to give up.
If he had dunked that.
Look at the top of the screen.
Timeout, yeah. It was.
Jones's three not there. Kaluma feeling it.
Did he hit 2 threes or just the one?
I think he hit 2. Let me look here.
See,
he hit another one on the wing. I thought maybe the second half.
That's what I thought as well.
All right. 2 of 5 from 3-point land.
Hunter's three won't go. Nunge could not grab the rebound.
And there's Arthur. He does such a good job of getting his hands in there. He gets overzealous sometimes and gets some ticky-tack fouls, but.
And Boom had trouble when he was going on. He really struggled.
You can see right there, Nunge's not,
No.
not really defending anything.
No.
I understand what he's trying to do, but he's taking a real chance with this group. Jones is rejected by Kalkbrenner.
Yeah, Kalkbrenner had
Great
5
defense.
blocks.
Yeah. And I don't think, did he foul? I don't think he had 1 foul today.
Oh, I don't believe so. Let's see.
Just
Ryan had no fouls.
Yeah.
Low scoring games. We have 3 of the best offensive teams in the country in the Big East. Xavier,
I thought getting today, too, another great thing was when we had the ball in the high post with Kalkbrenner, things really were working today. Some days we kind of get bogged down and so forth, but today it seemed like everything was rolling off that.
just how well he's been able to rebound at this level. Alexander's three is good. His second attempted 1 shot. He's got 2 points with 1:50 to go in the first half.
That's cold-blooded right there.
Boom puts up a 3.
there was one of those tough threes that Baum took. Just fading off to the side with a guy in his Niemhart right in his face. I mean,
That's such a nice
barely caught the
entry
front of
pass.
the rim. Yep.
It's like you said, Jerry. That's just frustration.
Yep. Wanted to get some shots, man. I'm sure he's frustrated. guys that are at 17 points a game only getting 2. That's yeah. There's their zone they come out in. Was this the start of the second half? Yep.
Yep.
I think we get it to Arthur down low for an easy bucket. That was.
I think he got it. I think he flashed.
There we go. Yeah.
I think he flashed the post actually.
Yep.
Flashes in the free throw line, gets the ball,
yeah.
and then they just took it right to the hole. Yeah, and they only ran that once, and then they said, okay.
Theirs was out of bounds play. Trey hit one, and I think next time Baylor hits one.
Next time Baylor hits one, yep. We ran it twice in a row. Kunkel seemed to be complaining he got held or something on that.
We got to make a move now. Yeah, I think that's what he's thinking. I'd at least get him out to the under 16.
Yep, here we go again.
Yep. This time Trey's taking it out, and
great job by Kalk to seal right there.
The screen just pins this guy down low. Back to back, same play, just different guy.
Yep.
That could have been an offensive foul.
Just man, Arthur just took Fremantle to the hole several times today, just abused him.
Yeah. Well, he had to. He had 3 fouls, you know.
Yeah. He couldn't do anything from.
Yeah, right here's the one.
Oh, he just pins him out.
Back, so right out, back, boom, right down.
Just backed him in. One of Baylor's threes. I think the next one's out by the half-court logo.
Xavier is 9 for 13 shooting this half. Getting a little better on this end, which is the key.
Yeah, here's where Xavier went on that 9-0 run, got within 6.
Mm-hmm.
And here's where Art took over right here.
Mm-hmm.
Lays it in under, with contact. And that was a big bucket, got us to 8. Then we were able to just jump it back up again.
Now here's a good play. Baylor dives, gets the ball, and they get a fast break and get an and one with Kalkbrenner.
Kind of silly of all the plays Nunji backed off of. The one play you should have backed off on.
Right. Here's where
that point.
Arthur takes him to the hole again, right?
Lost it right to Kalkbrenner. To your point, Lap, Greg McDermott told his team, we got to get on Boom at the catch, and they have done that today.
R2 has an amazing ability to come to a stop at full speed.
Claude, baseline, shot clock at 6. Jones catch and shoot.
Look at R2's right in his hip pocket the whole way.
Nembhard's got 9 points, 8 rebounds, and 6 assists. And he's now got 2 more points.
That's where R2 made it to coast to coast.
Well, he's really good at finishing.
Louisville scrolling across the bottom at 2-18. That's crazy.
Isn't it though?
Boom, rejected by Kalkbrenner.
Great block there by Kalk.
Oh, he's shooting that.
Here he gives it to me.
I love that Lapis call. Oh, he's shooting that.
Timeout shot. He didn't leave any timeouts in his pocket on the way home.
No, he did not. He did not.
He used his last one with about 10 minutes to go in the game.
Yep, and there's the second one.
Yep.
When does he get the tee, Jerry?
It was right after a Kalkbrenner block, and he was begging for it. He got right out in the court, right in that ref's ear. Then once the guy called a tee, just backed off. But yeah.
This guy doesn't miss. They throw it into him. Free pizza. So when they hit 75 again, you'll hear the cheer, and that's why. Well, they had pizza and it was dollar beer night that night. It was a big night.
They're playing a little bit of zone there.
Yep. They went back to it a couple times.
Yeah.
That was
They didn't play very good, right?
No. You can tell it's not their base.
No.
And this is a tough place to win. We pointed it out. But with 10 games left in the regular season for the Blue Jays, only
Got the backups in now.
Great back cut. And Mitchell scores. Sharif Mitchell. second Big East loss of the year for the Musketeers.
See, and this is another thing I meant to ask Coach about is where they have been playing in practice, what position they have him at. Because he looks like a point guard when he's in there. He doesn't look as much like a shooting
point in high school. Play point in high school. That's his natural position. But
a lot of the passes he makes, just those little dump off passes. Yeah.
He's got more of a two body.
I mean, he's 6'4" and he's not small.
Ball game.
Yeah, we won again. 84-67.
Yep.
What was that?
Is that the worst Xavier's gotten beat all year? Of the, I know they got a couple losses, but they probably were close games. I think that's probably the first time anybody's dominated them double digits.
Let me tell you real quick. Xavier. Okay, they lost to Gonzaga by 4. Lost to Indiana by 2. They lost to Duke by 7. And then they lost to DePaul by 1. So, yes, easily their worst loss this season.
I know you're talking about the recruit. I guess that would be today. Would have been a good game to be at. I mean, the crowd didn't leave early.
There wasn't just one. Oh no, it's the next game. It's the next, or it's the UConn game. There's 2 guys coming, right? Oh no, never mind.
Trentian Flowers is there today. He's a 5-star.
And then Jackson McAndrews is the 11th.
Trentian Flowers is there today. He's a 5-star. We're in with him with several other schools. They're all blue bloods: Kentucky, Arkansas, North Carolina,
Louisville.
Kansas.
You had Louisville listed.
Yeah, Louisville and Kansas.
Going to be a tough haul, but he was there today, and according to Jalen Courtney Williams, who's the head recruiter on that, he seemed to enjoy himself pretty well. And
I did see on the board someone was saying his dad was loving it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, that's it for today's show. We'll let everybody go on with their day. I've got to go to Dave & Buster's with 8 screaming 16-year-old girls for a birthday party, which ought to be a lot of fun. At least I'll have basketball on. I can sit and watch that. Yeah. We won't have a Blue Jay Banner Monday, but we will be back with you on Wednesday for another edition of Instant Reaction immediately after the Georgetown game. So we'll be on, is that a 5:30 or 6 tip?
5:30 game start.
All right, so we'll be on about 7:30 right after the game. And